Aha! Here we go. Good evening, and welcome to the Sunday Scaries. And we are going back to the Holler. We are returning finally to Scarlet Hollow. This was originally something I was going to be doing back in late February when the Chapter 5 content dropped, but then I got Little Goody Two Shoes, and then I was too sick to do it for a little while. So, but here we are, and I had asked a few people if they were going to be available to do voices for this week, but it turns out that everybody's busy and or has other commitments, etc. But that's okay, because we're still going to do the show, and it'll still be fun. And maybe people will come in on later episodes. But for now, let's get back into it. Here we go. Would you like to see a recap before starting episode 5? Yeah, it's been a minute. I don't remember which choices we made in this playthrough, so let's find out. The funeral of Perlan Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt. Oh, hi LB933. It may be just you today, as it turns out, but that's okay. Let's see here. The funeral of Perlan Scarlet seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. Afraid! Wait a minute, you must be... Oh my god, wait, I heard somebody at school talking about how the long-lost Scarlet heir was coming back to town this week. You know, for the funeral? That must be them. The country ambiance clashes terribly with Brunner, who has been eyeing you with something between curiosity and dawning horror. That's weird. I know, right? Dustin's great, and Dustin's mom, also great. Was clearly trying to say it quietly, but of course you heard her. You're the only two people here. Why is Kanika anyway, we'll get there. And then it emerges, an honest-to-goodness mountain lion, and there is something horribly wrong with it. A blood that runs and becomes nothing. It doesn't bother trying to hide now, leaping down into the clearing with killing intent in its wide yellow eyes, ready to finish what it started, and then... Blam! Damn, nearly had the thing. Wait, a run-in? What kind of run-in? Was it supernatural? Like I said, you won't believe it. Now put that dang camera away. At least it's a nice night, even if the circumstances leave something to be desired. Help yourself to jerky, and as for the beer, I was planning on having both cans myself. But I suppose I could be convinced to spare one. Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed limbs, while Stella stares in shocked silence, as if paused, watching as the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. It barely staggers back, the shove having done little more than shift the thing's attention to you. It rears back on its hind legs, its mouth opening, whispered tones sliding out alongside something sharp and unnatural. Gretchen! You both turn just in time to see the end of Gretchen's leash disappearing into the underbrush. Her yelps grow distant as she's dragged away. Your cousin reaches for the headlights. Charlie, welcome home. The figure steps out of the light, disappearing back into the darkness of the woods. I'm going back to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. That was day 1. Oh, good, he's still here. But listen, you'd better stay out of trouble today. I want you home by sunset. I don't want to hear complaints. Just do what I ask, and we won't have any more problems. Tabitha takes a few steps toward the door. Sunset. Wow, that is some heavy stuff. No wonder Stella seemed distant. I'm gonna keep my ears open for you. The diner is where everyone comes to gossip, so I hear a lot about what's going on around here. I'll let you know if anyone mentions those monsters or anything else strange or unusual. Have either of you seen Rosalina around town? I don't want to be a helicopter dad, but she hasn't been answering my texts, and I wanted to make sure she isn't getting into trouble out there. Nothing strenuous, we promise. Again, Kanika is blurred out. Something weird is going on here. Whatever you two have planned is probably beyond what he can manage right now anyway.
I am the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't forget that. Even if it's already too late to stop what's going to happen.
You're interrupted by sudden movement out of the corner of your eye. A girl carrying a bundle of snacks pops through a hole in the fence and disappears over the crest of a hill. Presumably Kanika said something. I guess the whole Maxwell place doesn't cut it as a secret hangout spot these days. Oh, this is so weird. What's going on? What happened to Kanika? Why is she memory hold? You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. What is it? I'm in a meeting. A kid just snuck into the Shaw mine. I figured you should know. What? Are you serious? Why do these things keep happening to me? Also, why do you know about this? What the hell are you doing at my mines? Oh, whatever. I'll head over there as soon as I can. Just stay where you are and wait for me, alright? God, I don't even know why I'm trying to reason with you. It's not like you'll listen. Yes, indeed, something that will hopefully be explained soon, but we'll see. My dad is a foreman at the continuous mining facility, and he says they only abandoned this mine because there wasn't enough coal left. So it's actually really safe, and we can hang out here whenever we want. My uncle works for Nintendo, and he told me all the secrets. Anyway. Correction, your father was a foreman at the continuous mining facility. We'll see if he even has a job tomorrow morning. My dad says our house is haunted. But she's interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. Kanika says something else. There is something in the darkness before you that is much louder, though you don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest, like the deep growl of a predator. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives toward you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Ooh, that flash was quick. Charlie, you alright? Wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them there. I know which way they were going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. Your surroundings quake as the mine collapses around you. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. There are two of them now. Hi, Dustin Mom. What happened to your glass house? Asshole squatter moved in, kicked Dustin Mom out. As you ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Charlie, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I mean, I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry that you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for Oscar and for little Rosalina. They're such sweethearts. Couldn't have happened to nicer people. Don't you know? Morning. Is the new blend ready?
Of course. Charlie, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute.
Well, if it ain't Charlie, Bo is Miss Scarlet's cousin. They were there with Stella that night in the woods. Night in the woods, you say? It's a pleasure to meet you, Charlie. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Oh, you've been faring better since all that unpleasantness. They keep bringing me Jell-O. I love it here. But Dad, I miss you. When are you coming back? The nurses just need me to make sure your living situation is all squared away, and then I'll come and get you, Rosa. Just a few more hours. Hey, is that... Oscar practically jumps out of his skin as he turns and sees you. Oh, hey, Charlie, I didn't hear you come in. Yep, he's a dog. No dogs, no mayors. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. Correct. There's a real air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Charlie? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. Yes, indeed, Mayor Pup. Sham Mayor Pup, though, as it turns out. Corrupt Mayor Pup. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all of his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Kanika says something. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately and haven't been cleaning much. Again, Kanika's shadow is there. That's so weird. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. So we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Charlie's still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends up. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, you're just in time. Rosalina's situated in the back room. Alexis is going to keep her company while we hopefully get all of this sorted out. Look at that handsome devil. Hey, hope I'm not too late. Have I missed any creepy paranormal stuff? Oscar and Kanika startle as the door swings open. Conspicuous absence, perhaps? Right over there? Hold it. You're not taking my cousin along on any more of your little hijinks without me. Whoa. And this is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. I like many boys over there. Hang on. It's a good one. Alright. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown. I'm going for it. Wait, do you hear music? Madoka Magica ass labyrinth looking, yeah. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Stella? There you are.
I would have found you sooner, but the resident clearly doesn't want me here. It doesn't seem to have the same issue with these miserable little parasites.
Splorch.
Bottom feeders always manage to slip through the cracks, don't they?
The sins of their father are to be laid upon the children. That's one version of the quote. Kanika says something. Bullshit. You and Tabitha come to in a basement, a mound of packed dirt in front of you. Your friends are nowhere to be seen, though Sybil remains standing on the stairwell, as if she's been patiently waiting for you to get up.
The spirit is gone, and the two of you are back, and both of you are whole. I have to admit, this is quite the unexpected outcome. Excellent work, Charlie.
Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'll see you later. She hurries off down the road.
Before I go...
Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment.
I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, but let's not get into it here. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Charlie. Wink.
Bleh. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly, you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. I'm wondering, did I end up drinking the tea at one point? Because that would explain all of this. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Yeah, extremely. all 7 flags are red, waving behind untrustworthy old lady. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Kanika says something. Oh, I skipped the tea? Interesting. Okay. You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Now listen here, Hugby. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon, so don't you go telling me she was just a pumpkin. We worked real hard to get her that big. Raised her up from a seed. It's just not fair, officer, sir. I understand that and all, but I just don't see what y'all want us to do about it. I know y'all cared a lot about this pumpkin, but as it stands, this simply isn't a job for that the police can help you with. Now, if you were able to find some kind of evidence that Julius or somebody else stole this Big Betty of yours, then you could get a lawyer involved and take it to small claims court. Dang it, deputy. Ain't finding evidence what y'all are supposed to be good for. That Julius been stealing what rightfully belongs to the Callaways all his dang life, and you folks ain't done a lick of policing to put an end to it. I'm so glad you came. I've never met anyone else who could hear them. You have no idea how long I thought I must have had some kind of insanity. I even thought at one point it must have been the Lord himself talking to me through them. But they never had anything very insightful to say, so I was disavowed of that pretty early on. There have been some particularly nasty rats on the church lately, and she said some things that have led me to believe she might be able to understand them. I had better get back to my daughter, and you had better get back to looking for Stella. But tomorrow... He pulls out a scrap of paper and scribbles something on it before handing it to you. Here's my number. Text me anytime. I'll be around. And assuming things have settled down a bit, maybe we can grab coffee at the diner and actually get to know each other. And hopefully by then I'll have found something that can help with the whole town-wide mystery situation. Look at that handsome devil again. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. I'm not going to drink this.
Then I'm afraid I can't be of much help. Tea readings are my specialty. If I don't have your leaves, I can't do a reading.
This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway toward the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. Old-timey wheelchair. Looks like a crib, maybe? Oh, are you okay? You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years, the planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if I get you out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Oh yeah, there's his hand, right there. Right over there. Nothing doing, sir. Leave us alone! Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh, Reese. Poor kid. Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. Blam! Before Dr. Kelly can fire, a different shot rings out. Reese's body is thrown to the wall. Shotgun in hand, your cousin rounds the corner and trains her weapon on his writhing body. You leap forward, placing your body between Tabitha and the whimpering Reese, his face already trying to stitch itself back together as he writhes on the ground. Both of you shut up and help me drag him into the safe room now! You turn to see Dr. Kelly, already pulling her son toward the open doorway. As your eyes sink, you realize that something smells off about the room. It smells rotten. You jolt awake as the door creaks. Don't look so frightened. I was just going to say goodnight. And to give you a word of advice. Tabitha won't be around tomorrow. Too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. And you might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese, trapped in that tiny windowless room, all his greatest fears realized, his body no longer his own. But you stopped him from killing Dr. Kelly. The world, at least for now, is protected from him. And then you think of nothing. My hope is, fingers crossed, that there will be a situation in which we have to run from some even scarier thing. And we need to run by where Reese is and break him out so that he can fight the even scarier thing. But that may not happen until chapter 6 or 7. We don't know. It's time to continue your journey. Wake up. A lonely piano refrain echoes through your head as you sleep. It feels like it goes on forever, clumsy and uncertain of itself, stopping and starting at random. I don't know if you can hear that. There's a very quiet piano in the background. But as your dreams start to fade, you realize the music is following you to the waking world, continuing even as your mind re-solidifies and banishes the last few remnants of your dreams. Okay, fair enough. It was very quiet, so... anyway, when it finally stops, you're startled by the sudden silence. Human? Human? There we go. Human, wake up! You slowly come to, roused by the voice of your small possum friend. You feel strangely cold and uncomfortable, your muscles stiff and achy, your head still cloudy with sleep. Your vision comes into focus. Hello? See, Human not dead. Okay. No easy breakfast for Dustin and Dustin, Mom. Oh, come on, the body's not even cold. Dustin stands on your chest, his beady black eyes staring down into yours. Dustin's mom is hovering a healthy distance away. Hello, friends. You are not in your bedroom. Oh, that's the honest one. Dustin, my wonderful little friend, I love waking up to your face. Did you hear something now? Like a piano? Dustin not know about piano. Could hear some weird bird, though. No need worry about weird bird. Weird birds sound like it far away from here. Good morning, Dustin, my wonderful little friend. I love waking up to your face. Human has been kind to Dustin. Dustin's so worried when Human got dragged away. Dustin Mom also worried for Human. No, Human went to visit Asshole Squatter. It okay that Glasshouse still belonged to Squatter. Asshole Squatter too powerful even for Human. But it is the thought that counts. Dustin and Dustin Mom tried to help Human too, when the other one came to take you away. But scary Human not afraid of small creature like us. But Dustin watch over good Human all night. You stand, your legs still wobbly with sleep, the odd tilt of the floor adding to your unsteadiness. So this is the Forbidden Wing, and Wayne dragged you here in your sleep. Can you ever trust the safety of your bed again? Yeah, I'd be real messed up if that happened to me. There are 2 doors out of the barren room. One is a normal doorway, leading into what you assume is the hallway. The other door is just a door. It must have once been hidden, but though the ruined state of the wallpaper has robbed it of its secrecy. Hey, I had one of those once. Do either of you know how to get back to my room? Very easy. Holes everywhere in Dustin House. Just gotta squeeze between walls. Human too big to swing between walls, Dustin. Gotta find human-sized way. You groggily pat your legs before realizing that you're still in your evening attire. Whatever brought you here wasn't thoughtful enough to bring your phone from the nightstand. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the door. Of course I am. There doesn't seem to be a clear way to open it besides the brass circle where a handle should be. Home on other side. Look through the hole where the handle used to be. You lean forward, peering into the narrow opening at what lies behind the door. The marsupial is right. It's your room. Which means you'd be able to slip right back into the safety of the rest of the house if you could just manage to find the handle. Try forcing the door anyway. You push on the wall. It doesn't budge. You try messing with the metal contraption that stands in place of the door's handle, tugging and jiggling and pushing on it every which way, and still nothing. Go explore the Forbidden Wing. You cross the slanted room and exit into the hallway beyond. Before you is a long hallway. Dust dances in the weak sunlight, beaming in through cracked glass. A tinge of mildew stings your nose, warning you away, though there's nowhere else to run to now. I don't know if I've ever been warned away by mildew, but hey. An ornate entryway, its door long gone, breaks the monotony of the faded wallpaper, and a staircase looms at the far end. Investigate the entryway. You make your way to the large set of double doors in the middle of the hallway. You can hear the light click of claws on hardwood as Dustin's mom toddles along a safe distance behind you. It's a parlor. Of course the Scarlets of old would have a dedicated space to entertain their guests. It would feel elegant if not for the massive crack that runs the entire length of the floor. The air here stinks of mildew. You can see why Tabitha doesn't want you exploring these rooms. There's a large painting on the far wall of the room. From a distance, it looks like it might depict the town. Something else catches your eye, too. A bookshelf, or rather, what's left of a bookshelf, hanging by a single rusted hinge. So there's the painting. I don't see the bookshelf. Must be blocked by Dustin there. Hello. Hello, Dustin Mom. They definitely listened to feedback and added more content with Dustin and Dustin Mom, and I appreciate it. Its sagging shelves reveals some sunless space beyond, once hidden, now exposed by the rot of this house. Dustin almost never come in here. All open space, too scary. But room behind wall is a good hiding place. Dustin hide there sometimes. As he references this room behind wall, Dustin stares at the broken down bookshelf that has already caught your eye. Let's check out the painting. The painting highlights a number of old buildings and locales, many of which you've already visited. The town hall. Wait, hang on. The town hall. The Scarlet estate. One assumes that's here. The mines. One assumes that's there. And the clinic. One assumes that's there-ish. Still called a hospital at the time of the painting. The church. Over there. And there's somewhere you've yet to see. The historical Callaway and Tremaine homesteads. And that must be these two. One assumes one of those is the Scarlet family, and the other one, well, we'll get to it. The faded bronze plaque beneath reads, in commemoration of Enoch Scarlet, head of the Scarlet Hollow Landmark Revitalization Project. Let the past never be forgotten. It says that right here. Totally. Dustin no get. Always making mark on old cloth. Does not know that cloth for eating. Yeah, let's go into the hidden room. Of course. How could I not? You test each step as you make your way across the room, especially careful as you cross over to the ruined section of the floor in front of the bookshelf. You can hear Dustin's mom hurrying behind you. We go to a dark room now? Good. Big open space bad. Vulnerable to attack. The space is dark, its features barely illuminated by the faint light trickling in through myriad cracks and holes in the walls. The wallpaper, a deep exquisite red, adds a blood-like glow to the dimness. Do I mark this? Hang on. Can I mark this? I don't know. The walls are lined with ornate display cabinets, some empty, some still presenting their antique treasures. Nestled between the cabinets, a single tall bookshelf remains standing, its occupants dusty, but mostly intact. Let's take a look again. What do we got here? Ooh. Civil War era pistol, and some other associated accoutrement. Fancy overstuffed love seat, now ruined. Fancy chair, now ruined. Some shattered pots. Clearly Link has been here. Well, that's an interesting little image. Statue of Janus. Statue of Atlas. Statue of Thoth? I can't remember which Egyptian god that is. A buffalo head. Alright, let's see here. But all of these are ornamental details. Your focus is drawn to an expensive-looking antique desk in the center of the room. Good place to take a nap. Examine the bookshelf. Maybe the collection of literature can help you learn about this room's occupant. You approach the shelf, your eager eyes poring over titles for anything that seems to stand out. The upper shelves are mostly classic fiction. Moby Dick, Shakespeare, various Dickens novels. Nothing stands out as particularly interesting. Indeed, priorities. The bottom shelf seems to be home to reference books, heavy volumes of long outdated construction law, treatises on various aspects of the coal industry, but there's also a book on city planning that stands out to you. The spine is marked with a dot. You pull it out, the shelves above shifting precariously, as if the book held some load-bearing purpose. The instant you crack its spine, a slip of paper falls out, ancient and fragile and yellowed with age. It's some kind of map. A circle and an X at Scarlet City Hospital, a circle and an X at Town Hall, a circle and an X at whatever that location is. The Mine Road, the Main Street. No circle and X at the Scarlet Estate. A circle and X at the Scarlet Mines. And the other sections not visible. And judging by the highlighted landmarks, it's a map of Scarlet Hollow. Town Hall, the old hospital, the mines, all places where stone carvings had been buried. Yeah, we found that one. We found that one. And we found the library one. We haven't found the town hall one yet. There's one more circled as well, which looks to be a patch of farmland. You haven't paid this location a visit yet, but judging by the way the other buildings have had their ways of drawing you in, it's probably only a matter of time. Interesting to note, church not visible here. Could be one there. So this isn't the library. Okay. Because we found one at the mines. We found one at the old hospital, which is now a clinic. We found one at the library. I guess maybe that's next to the town hall. I'm not sure. Anyway, you carefully fold the map and shove it into a pocket. That's not good for eating. Dustin tried. You were just taking it for a nest, Dustin. Not everything is for eat. Square white leaves taste bad, but very good for a nest. Use some nest for Dustin and Dustin's siblings. Examine the desk. Human is taking it for a nest, Dustin. Oh, yeah, we just read that part. Open the top drawer, open the bottom drawer. Step away from the desk. Start with the top drawer. The top drawer contains mostly old-timey letter writing materials, complete with a fancy dagger-shaped letter opener and a wax stamping kit emblazoned with the initials ES. You can't help but notice the wax has been nibbled. Red stuff stick to dust and teeth. Tastes good, though. Underneath, you find a pile of crumbling financial documents. Scrawled in neat cursive in every spot that needed a signature is the name Enoch Scarlet. This must be his desk, meaning this must also be his study. And at the very bottom of the drawer, you're surprised to find a face you recognize staring back up at you. An antique photograph of a young man, his blonde hair nearly white against the dark sepia background. Dustin is informative. It's Teddy. He looks almost exactly the same as he did in your vision. Almost. There's a carefree look in his eye that seemed to have faded by the time he found his way to that hospital bed. Close the drawer. You close the drawer. Open the bottom drawer. The bottom drawer offers some resistance as you try to pull it out. It seems that it was locked, though the bit of metal attempting to hold it shut seems to have rusted to the point of uselessness years ago. It gives in with a sharp tug, rotting wood splintering softly somewhere within the century-old desk. Inside, you find a strange collection of glass vials. Their surfaces are clouded over, but you can make out what seems to be paper preserved somehow inside the containers, a hint of writing visible at the edges. You notice some of the corks have been lightly chewed. Pretty good for eating. Dustin always saved these for a special occasion. Tastes like old pond. Fine vintage. Again, very informative. Open the vials. You reach for one of them, twisting the cork. It unseals with a pop, releasing the smell like an old pond, like decaying leaves in damp earth. You tug at the corner of the slip of paper and it unfurls. The writing across its surface is crisp and clear, as if it had just been written. To Miss Maeve, I know it has been several years since my last visit, but I do hope you remember the young lad who used to find himself at your doorstep more than you probably would have liked. I write you now with the utmost urgency. I'm not sure if news has yet reached you regarding what transpired just yesterday. Many lives were lost. The town is in a frenzy. I hope to mitigate some of the damage that has been done, and thus must speak with you at once. I attempted the journey to your place of residence, but was unable to locate it. You once told me of another way to reach you, and though it seems nothing but a half-remembered fantasy, I am acting in desperation. I can only hope this letter finds its way to you, as you once said it would in my hour of need. I must meet with you at your soonest convenience. Sincerely, Enoch Scarlet. The paper dissolves as you finish reading the last few lines, as if it finally realized that it had been submerged all these years, turning to useless pulp between your fingers. It's a good thing you're a fast reader. New place to get tasty wets. Nothing Dustin Mom likes to see more than Dustin live in comfort. But Dustin better not let comfort make him soft. This is how Dustin brother die. Ooh. It's unlikely you'll have the chance to return here, and the vials are too delicate to carry with you. Keep reading. Do I risk waiting to come back to read them? I feel like I want to read them. You open another. Miss Verena, trouble with tea. Your presence requested at once. Uh-oh, poor Teddy. And another. Verena, know what you tried. Do not appreciate the attempt at subterfuge. Thought we both knew what was at stake here. The boy has been dealt with. Expect me this evening for in-person discussion. Some of these letters are addressed to Miss Maeve, and some to a Verena. All are signed E.S. You assume these have to be from Enoch. Many seem unimportant, just listing a time and a place. You assume meetings between Enoch and whoever this Verena may have been. Before you know it, the drawer is empty, the floor around you scattered with drained vials, the air stinking of wet rot. Step away from the desk. You step away from the desk. You've seen enough. Return to the hallway. You head down the eerie corridor, following the path laid out in the dust. No, Dustin not go there. Dustin come back. You turn to face Dustin's mom, who stands a little ways down the corridor from you, her posture tense. But Dustin is helping. Nothing bad will happen to Dustin with big strong human around. Dustin mom say no. Don't care how strong human is. Only Dustin mom know what's best for Dustin. Dustin looks up at you with his large, black, wet eyes. Human will have to go on without Dustin. Must I? He clambers down from his place on your shoulder, gripping your clothes with his little clawed hands. Hope Human can find human-sized hole. We go back to Dustin house now. Human should be careful. Up there always smell like hurting. And with that final word of caution, Dustin and Dustin's mom toddle away, disappearing into some crevice that will take them back to the comfort of your dresser drawers. You continue following the tracks left by what you assume to be your fellow humans. They take you up a flight of stairs, and you find yourself on the third floor of the estate for the first time. Right, if anything bad happens to Dustin, I'm going to burn this entire city to the ground. Oh, that's another connection between this game and Night in the Woods. Both have an adorable possum character. This game has two, in fact, with Dustin and Dustin's mom, whereas Night in the Woods just had Rabies, the possum. And he was great. Or she was great. She was great. There we go. There are more footprints leading all the way down the hallway and into the furthest door. Well, I guess that is farthest door. Anyway. Move the boxes from the front of the nearest door. The boxes slide out of the way with a bit of elbow grease. You push past them into the room beyond. The room is coldly empty. The large antique bed is made, its sheets ancient and dusty, but still somehow giving off the feeling of tidiness. Even with cobwebs stitched between each corner of its four-poster frame. I'll search the desk first. You step toward the desk, its drawers practically overflowing with stationery. As you sift through paper, it quickly becomes clear to you whose room this is. There are stacks of bills in Edward Dean's name, filling nearly every drawer, and even once you manage to get past the layers of envelopes and trifold paper, you hit a permafrost of receipts. It seems she was doing her best to be meticulous and hold on to any scrap of paper that might possibly be important, but not organizing or indexing them. But when you reach the bottom drawers, you find something entirely different. Greeting cards, letters, small wrapped packages, some opened, some sealed, some crumpled into messy balls. You open one of the cards. Both pages are taken up by a handwritten note. Tabby, hope you're doing well. Not a day goes by that I don't miss you. Hope her land treats you to your best Christmas yet. I'm not sure what sort of doodads you're into these days, so I sent a little something that made me think of you. I made sure they were the best shells of the bunch. Not sure how rare any of them are, but they're awful pretty. They've still got that beach smell. And make sure you put your ear up to them too. It doesn't compare to the real thing, but it comes close enough. And in case you think that makes me a cheapskate, I made sure to send along a little cash too, so you can get yourself something a little nicer than glorified beach trash. Make sure you get Perlan to take you to the nice toy store, because that's where I'd take you if I was there. If you get the time, I'd love to hear from you. I miss you so much, Tabby, and I'm always thinking of you. You can come out and visit me anytime. I know you've always wanted to see what it's like out east. They're in North Carolina. It's plenty east. It's just not north. Anyway. I made sure to write my address on the back of this card, just in case you didn't know how to get hold of me. Been missing you, my incredible, wonderful, amazing daughter. All my love, Dad. You pull out another from closer to the top of the pile. Happy birthday, Tabby. It's me again, your old dad. So, the big 2-0. I can't believe my daughter is such an adult. In my mind, you're still that bouncy little kid doing cartwheels on the front lawn, telling me what various sounds animals make like you're the professor of animal noises. I have no idea if you read these, but I'll keep writing them, even if sometimes it feels like I'm writing them to a ghost. I mean, we haven't been spoken in almost 15 years. You're a whole human being now, and I have no idea what you're like. I like to think we'd get along, though. As always, my address is on the back. I hope you'll decide to come visit me one of these days. I've got a guest room all set up just in case. It's always ready for you, kid. I love you, and I always will, no matter who you turn out to be. Love, Dad. There are years and years of these. That bottom drawer is almost entirely unopened envelopes dated from when Tabitha would have been just a kid, all from him. You pocket a few of the cards. Search the closet. You make your way to the closet. It seems Edward Dean kept things neat and orderly, or as neat and orderly as she could, considering the decaying state of the place. You can't help notice that these dresses look strikingly like the style Tabitha wears. You can imagine Perlan sifting through Edward Dean's old trunks of clothes, recycling moth-eaten vintage dresses for her daughter in place of buying anything new. The only thing here besides her clothes and shoes is a box shoved off to one side. You pick it up. Child-sized overalls, striped shirts, a small pair of trousers with suspenders still attached on one of those little sailor suits the boys from the 50s were always wearing. When you pull out the last shirt, a note is revealed, tucked away in the bottom of the box in a protective plastic sleeve. It's scrawled in almost illegible handwriting, written in some thick brown watery ink that is cracked with age. It says, "Mommy, I am in there too, and I love you." Oh, I mean here too, and I love you. Sorry. Your hands tremble, the note somehow making the tips of your fingers feel dirty even as it sits behind a layer of plastic. You drop it back into the box, once again covering it with the clothes, shoving it back into the recesses of this forgotten closet where it belongs. You're done here. Return to the hallway. Her ladyship's chambers. Explore Edwardine's bedroom, achievement unlocked. Finished with the tucked away room, you return to the hallway. Enter the middle room. This space was clearly once a nursery, though no child has been in here for a long, long time. Check the bookshelf. The top shelf is occupied by antique picture books, Fun with Dick and Jane, books of nursery rhymes, ancient editions of Grimm's fairy tales. Yo, that's where it's at right there. My mother likes to tell the story of how I only liked the really old versions of the Grimm's fairy tales, the super dark ones. Anyway. The lower shelves are full of educational material, from children's encyclopedias to writing practice workbooks. From the sheer number of learning-oriented books on the shelf, you get the impression that the children who lived here were not supposed to be as interested in fun and fiction as they were in diction and spelling. Your family may have been wealthy, but maybe not in joy. Oh, let's check a few writing practice books. You leaf through a few of the practice workbooks, gently turning the near-crumbling pages. Reasons Mommy should take me and Mary Bell to the zoo. 1. We have been very good girls and have not cried for a whole week. 2. Mary Bell says elephants are so big, and I would like to see. Oh, to see one. There we go. 3. I think it would be very fun, and Mommy would have a good time. All are signed with the carefully scrawled signature of Alexandra Scarlet. You flip through the rest of the book, your eyes unfocused as the many practice sentences and letter copying pages flash by, but something near the back of the book gives you pause. In a section that starts with the prompt, "Today I," Alexandra continues with, "Talked to the boy in the wall." This last prompt lingers with you. If all of these practice books are the same, you wonder what else you'll manage to find under "Today I." You grab the next copy, opening it to the first practice writing page. "Today I told the boy in the wall about my family. Then the boy in the wall said he is happy he has a kid to talk to. I am also glad because Mary Bell is mean sometimes and tells me what to do. He is really nice and I hope he can come out of the wall to play with us soon." So this is the Mommy I'm here too, and yeah. "Today I told the boy in the wall that I am sad. He was really nice and told me he knows how to make Mommy be nicer to me. He said Mommy tucks him in every night and reads him stories and is never mean. And that if I was in the wall, Mommy would also be nice to me. Uh-oh. He said there can only be one kid in the wall, so he will have to switch places with me. But Mommy will be nice to me then, so it is okay. Wow. Today I ate dinner with Mommy. She said she made me special dinner, and she sat with me the whole time, and I was a good girl and ate it all. Mommy is proud of me. It was a good day, and I am happy." The rest of the book is blank. Weird. You make your way back to the hallway. Approach the window. You carefully approach the window at the far end of the hall. That sure is a cliff. There is nothing below the window but the tops of distant trees, the ground having crumbled away. The only thing stopping you from plummeting to your doom is the straining foundation that still somehow holds this place together, but not for long, probably. Yeah, agreed. Not disturbing at all. What are you talking about? Do. If I could whistle, I would. Anyway, at least for now. Follow the trail into the furthest room. You continue following the trail of footprints, approaching the farthest room down the hall. The door was clearly meant to be hidden, but it's been left open. The room is starkly empty, save for a rug and a few candelabras. I almost said handlebars. It's not right. The lack of dusty old boxes and rotting antiques mark it as distinct from the rest of the cluttered, forgotten spaces that you have explored. Continue through the far door. You continue forward through the door on the far side of the room. You exit into a short hallway. Oh, we've seen this one before. On the other end. There are stairs here leading back down to the lower floors, but there is also another door. It's hanging ajar, the many locks and deadbolts along its edge glimmering in the weak morning light. Yeah, we've seen that super locked in other times. The doorframe itself is gouged and splintered, evidence that some desperate creature tried to save itself from the room beyond time and time again. Enter. You step forward. This was a prison cell. I can't read it. But it does look like it says something. Something important right there in the middle, along with Creepy Doll. Everything about this place reeks of neglected humanity. The walls are covered in scratches, legible words mixed in with nonsense of desperate clawing. The one window, set high in the far wall, is fitted with a thick pane of glass, as if the iron bars just beyond it wouldn't be enough to hold the imprisoned. You can't help notice that the doll from your closet sits, watching you from the bed, one eyelid drooping. It adds an extra layer of menace to the already deeply unsettling room. Property of Alexandra. Your eyes are drawn to the massive almost letters, dug as deep into the brick as this cell's prisoner could manage, highlighted with whatever pigments were available. And then one final detail grabs you, a metallic glint from the filthy bare mattress, a doorknob. This is what you've been looking for. Was it left here for you? Take the handle. As you take it, a sound wraps around you. Music, the tinkling of piano keys, played by a clumsy hand. They echo up a narrow staircase at the end of the hall. Oh, that's so faint. Hang on. There it is. I think you should be able to hear it now. Nice. Okay, here we go. Follow the music. You've come this far. Clearly you're meant to go just a little further. The stairs take you into what you have to assume was once servants' quarters. A network of cramped passageways hidden away beyond the expansive rooms of the estate, without so much as a window for illumination. Oh, we're getting into liminal spaces that actually appear in my dreams. Oh, this is gonna get weird. Okay. But you persist and descend deeper into the bowels of the Scarlet estate, the echoing piano, your only company. Soon enough you see light again, the sun creeping in through the edges of a nearly hidden door. Yeah, for those keeping score at home, I have had a series of recurring dreams involving liminal spaces between and among walls in various houses that I have been associated with over the course of my lifetime. Not even necessarily ones I lived in, just ones I knew. But having to go through like various different multi-layer crawl spaces and hidden staircases and things like that, all trying to get to a bathroom, if you can believe it. Anyway. You're at the end of another long corridor. Its high ceilings and tall windows are almost disorienting as you step out from the cramped, gloomy stairwell. The music echoes mournfully in the vast space, a chorus of wind adding a melancholic harmony as it whips in from the overgrown courtyard outside. You've found your way to the first floor, but you've yet to confront your guide. Finish what you started and find the piano player. The musician plays on as you move cautiously through the dark, the slope now so dramatic that it feels like walking downhill, jagged remains of the floorboards jutting out like splintered trees. It had to be Wayne, of course. The flow of notes finally stops as you reach an open doorway to what was once a music room. Wayne stands from the bench of a battered grand piano, turning to face you. Achievement unlocked. Angel of Music. Answer his call.
So now you've seen it, Charlie.
He makes his way down the tilted floor towards you. A breeze passes by him, carrying with it the smell from the wound that is his body.
I hope you enjoyed the show.
He stops just a few paces away.
And I trust you understand the implications of everything you've seen.
Not even close.
If you aren't careful and you put your faith in the wrong people, things could go very, very wrong for you.
Isn't this a bit theatrical? No, I want to know about the doll. Actually, no. Let's start with, did you need to carry me off in my sleep? Did you need to carry me off in my sleep?
A moment of weakness. I was impatient.
No, game. No. We're not going with that. We're going with you shouldn't do that to people. You shouldn't do that to people.
It's all serving a greater purpose, Charlie. You'll be better off for it.
None of this greater good nonsense. I'm here, aren't I? Can't you see that I trust you? You can tell me whatever it is you want me to know.
Do you want to be somebody else's puppet, Charlie? I can guide you to where you need to be, but it's up to you to open your eyes. The witch holds some of the final pieces. Find her, pry them from her hands, and then everything should start falling into place.
Your thoughts wander, searching for someone who might fit that description. You draw a blank.
Unless you're already starting to forget about her. Memory is a disloyal thing, isn't it? Physical, easily manipulated. But something being missing from your head doesn't mean it's gone from the world.
You say nothing. What was with the doll in that room?
She liked it, so I liked it too. It was nice to see it again after so many years.
Who lived in that last room? Wayne cocks his head almost playfully.
I did. I'd been in that room a long, long time. Though my being free now is meaningless in the grand scheme of things, the town itself is enough of a prison that I might well still be stuck behind that door. But at least I'm free enough to warn you.
Does Tabitha know about all this?
Of course. Why do you think she invited you here?
She didn't know me then. It's different now. We've bonded.
Do you think a flimsy bond formed over the course of a week will be enough to stop the generations of expectations and duty that have fallen on Tabitha's shoulders? Do you want to bet your freedom on that bond? Tabitha will always be a Scarlet.
Hey, what do you mean the town is a prison?
I can't leave. No one really can. As it stands now, Scarlet Hollow doesn't like letting go of its prisoners. They may be able to cross the town line, but not without paying a price. That can be changed, though. It wasn't always this way, and it was never meant to be. We can put an end to it.
We need to call someone about this. The police or the National Guard, or ghost hunters or somebody.
Trust me when I say they wouldn't be able to help. The forces at work in Scarlet Hollow run deep. There is no one person they can arrest, no group of people they can blame and do away with. It is beyond the realm of flesh. But I know how to fix everything. I know how to keep you safe for as long as you live.
I want to flirt, take a step towards him. Not this run. I want to leave. I've had enough of this place. I want to go home.
I'm afraid that's not possible one way or another. You'll be stuck here. The more you try to leave, the worse the consequences will be. You will have to stay and face what's coming, but you won't have to face it alone.
Agreed. Nope. I trust you, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do about any of this. Wayne's shoulders seem to relax slightly as if he is relieved. Good, good. Our enemies rely on keeping us divided. They know how much stronger we can be together. Be careful who you trust. I will always be there when you need me. Wayne steps away, his shining eyes watching you unblinking from behind his veil, before finally disappearing back into the darkness of the estate. Nothing left for you to do here but leave. You make your way back to where you woke up and slide in the handle to the secret door on the wall. It twists and the door pulls back, and you stumble through your closet and back into your bedroom. You lean against your door frame, relieved at once again having sturdy, unsloped ground beneath your feet and moderately clean air to breathe. The estate has gotten to you. After the events of this morning, your body burns with a ferocious itch to leave this place behind, to be anywhere but here. You leave in a haze, mindlessly grabbing clothes and an uncharged phone, barely even noticing your surroundings as you rush outside, the morning's revelations seizing your body and mind alike with a suffocating grip. Spot the ditchlings. One there. I think one there. One there. The cell, the doll, Wayne's insinuation that Tabitha has known about all of this. Hang on. Music was getting a bit loud. And even more, that she has partaken willingly in your family's crimes. Not only that, but that she has designs for you. Is it true? I can't jump to any conclusions just yet. I was shown what someone else wanted me to see. It's true. Everything you found in the Forbidden Wing could have been the work of an unreliable narrator. Not that it saves you from the ever-tightening grip of anxiety strangling your lungs. The events of this morning aren't the sort of thing you can casually move to the back of your mind. You have to do something. I'm not ready to make a move yet. I'm going to the library to get more information. You're not going anywhere without doing more research, especially not after all the effort you went through to save the library. You're going there before you do anything else. Damn straight. You're out of breath by the time you wind up outside the library, panting as you try to compose yourself before entering. Can we play Spot the Ditchling here? I don't see any. The library is somewhat less silent than usual. There are sounds coming from the open doorway of the mayor's office upstairs, the shuffling of paper accompanied by a low muttering. Pixel, and the mayor, whose name I don't remember, and the other really important dog, whose name I don't remember. You recognize Oscar by a slightly manic laugh that cuts through the murmuring, as uncharacteristic as it is for the librarian. Oh, that's Scraps. Okay. I don't know what you expect me to do about this, Jimmy. I can't exactly talk to a human, now can I? And here I thought you were interested in helping the dogs of this town. Or does that only apply to the select few you deem worthy of help? There are much bigger problems around here than whether or not there's a man in your office. Don't you have a house to go back to anyway? What do you need that room for? The office is where I do my important mayoral duties, and it's where the mayoral bed is stored, which happens to be my favorite. so I was upset to find that it had been carelessly tossed aside by a madman who's torn a hole in the wall. That's my wall. He has no right to do that. Jimmy, go home to your human, all right? It's dangerous to be wandering around on your own out here, but I can't be your personal bodyguard. You've already got one of those. And that man has every right to do what he wants with that office. That place is for humans, remember? So do what you're supposed to do and go on home where you'll be safe. Scraps turns and leaves, his claws clicking across the pavement. No wonder they elected me. It's like he doesn't even care about what makes a mayor a mayor. Mayor Jimmy wanders off, undoubtedly settling in on an inferior bed elsewhere in the library. Gonna sit all over the place, make the whole library stink like dog. People should make Cat the mayor. Do a way better job. Less stinky. I don't buy it. Cats are plenty stinky. Go upstairs. You climb the stairs and find Oscar amid a scattered pile of old paper and ancient leather-bound ledgers. The mayor was right. There is a big hole in the wall. Charlie, excellent. I was hoping I might see you today. Oh, look at how handsome he is. I could not sleep at all last night. I kept thinking about the stone and everything it might mean, and whether or not there are more, and how if there are, they might cause further disasters, which of course means that it would be advantageous if we managed to find them here before they do what they did here. And then Rosalina mumbled something about rooms being wrong in her sleep, and that made something click for me. Long story short, I decided to start looking through the old floor plans of all the buildings in town. At first I figured the town hall had already shared all of its secrets with us, but ha-ha, as you can see, there was still more to be found. I found a discrepancy in what is now the mayor's office between the initial plans and how it stands today, so I started knocking on walls, like in all the old movies, and lo and behold, an honest-to-God secret room, some old storage closet that was sealed away behind the wallpaper for a century, full of old Holler secrets with your family at the center of it all. There are building plans for all of these locations around town, the town hall included, where there's clearly been extra work done to bury things in the foundations. All as part of the Scarlet Hollow landmark revitalization project run by Enoch in the period following the Shaw mine collapse. And more than that, I found what I think are models of what was supposed to be buried, and where, like this. Oscar produces a small stone object. Its details are simpler and less refined, but this is unmistakably a model of a stone carving, though whether or not it's the one you've seen already eludes you. This is one of the carvings you described to me the other day, isn't it? I wonder what they're supposed to be. Was Enoch at the helm of a secret society running Scarlet Hollow back in the day? Is there still a secret society running Scarlet Hollow now? And to add to the mystery, there is this name I have seen repeated throughout these documents, Verena. She seems to be deferred to as an authority, which of course stuck out to me, as there weren't a lot of women involved in government or construction or that sort of thing back then. Consulted Verena. Verena requested this change or that. So when I went looking for more information on this person, but I wasn't able to find any records of her elsewhere. No birth certificates, no death certificates, no property purchases, no marriages, no divorces, nothing at all. I suppose she may have lived off the grid, but there are probably plenty of people who lived and died with no record that they were ever there. But I have to admit, it's curious, isn't it? More and more curious, to correct the grammar of a famous quote. I actually found something about a Verena in the estate this morning. Did you forget about our date? No. I actually found something about a Verena in the estate this morning. You explained to Oscar what you were able to take away from the vials hidden away in Enoch's secret study. Old vials. Fascinating. There's no use denying the existence of magic. This was clearly some type of one-way communication system with a built-in mechanism to destroy itself if it fell into the wrong hands. Is that what it was? And there's two names. Verena and Maeve. It would seem that this Maeve is older than Enoch, and she was who he turned to after a disaster. I assume the collapse of the Shaw mine. But then she disappears with Verena taking her place, and it would seem that Enoch and Verena had a falling out, with her apparently trying to undermine him. But for what reason, I wonder. Miss Maeve. Could Verena have been a pseudonym? Maybe Maeve is the one in the town records, and I was looking for the wrong name. I need to check something. It's not quite an anagram, but if you take the M in Maeve and separate it into an R and an N through kerning, then it becomes an anagram for Verena. Is that anything? Time will tell. You didn't happen to find anything else, did you? Any bit of information right now helps. You recount everything you experienced in the estate, the whole harrowing adventure, culminating in the horrible little cell you found hidden away, and your encounter with Wayne. All these little puzzle pieces have come together, and it is showing us a picture of your family, of Enoch, right at the heart of Scarlet Hollow's problems. Let me explain. The way I see it, these carvings are clearly tied to the incidents that have happened in town this week. There was the stone in the basement of the annex, which, it would seem, was built for the sole purpose of extending the town hall enough to cover the installation site. And, of course, there was the stone installed in the Shaw mine, once it had been dug out. Maybe it is just correlative, but correlation is the only tool we really have at the moment. Assuming I am right about all of this, there are 3 more locations, which means we have 3 opportunities to preempt something catastrophic. My notes indicate the likely locations are Dr. Kelly's clinic, the church, and one of the old farmhouses. I believe it is the Tremaine property. Though of those 3, the farm seems like the most accessible. I assume a practical woman like Dr. Kelly would need some convincing before we could tear down any walls, and we would probably need heavy machinery for the carving at the church. I don't know how long it would take to get our hands on an excavator. Maybe that's something your cousin would be able to help us with. But that would also mean involving her. Yeah, I've already been to the clinic, bring Scar up to speed. Oh my god, if I hadn't waited, if only I had found all of this sooner, back when the bloodstain first appeared in my daughter's carpet, imagine what could have been avoided. But I cannot change the past. All I can do is work even harder to try and make up for lost time. What a shame about the Kelly kid, but it sounds like the doctor knew the best course of action. Maybe when all this is over and we've managed to break whatever curse is holding this town in its grip, he'll go back to the way he was. Oscar pauses, his eyes drifting toward the door. We have to hope it can all get better. Wayne wanted me to find a witch. This Verena seems to fit the bill. Unfortunately, if there's nothing in the records, it means there's isn't a meaningful avenue to explore with her. No threads to follow. She probably died a long time ago. If she were alive, she'd have to be well over 100 years old. I suppose a witch could live a long time, who is to say, but I'm not sure I'm ready to entertain that sort of thinking. I've still got my feet planted too firmly in reality. Do you know what to expect at the farm, or at least where on the farm the stone would be? It looks to be buried underneath the house in what seemed like a root cellar, similar to the one in the annex. As to what to expect, I'm afraid I have no insights there. Something bad, I imagine. Though the men out there are usually heavily armed, so at least you'll have weaponry available this time. What do you mean that we need heavy machinery for the church? Those schematics seem to suggest that it won't be accessible from inside the building itself. There's mention of the pastor at the time giving them trouble, so they installed it using a tunnel system to bypass his permission. In the walls and the rats. It looks to me like the tunnels are under what the kids call Tetanus Lake, or at least that's what we called it back in my day. People have been treating it like a trash heap for decades. It is all rusted cans and broken bottles. If we want to access any of it, we'll need serious equipment. Yup, had a feeling. Or Pastor Daniel's permission to tear up the pulpit, which I assume will result in much the same arguments the pastor had with Enoch 100 years ago. Five locations. Do we think that's all of them? I don't see why we would doubt that. All of this was hidden away untouched. If someone had tried to cover their tracks, I doubt they'd leave anything for us to find in the first place. It feels like everything always happens right after I show up. What if we're not getting ahead of them? What if uncovering them has been the problem all along? That's not exactly true, though, is it? Charlie's bloodstain first appeared a couple of weeks ago. The Kelly boy struggled with this condition for most of his life, according to what the doctor told you. And we have no way of knowing how long there had been issues in the old Shaw mine. If anything, I would guess that your presence accelerated what was going on, which is a fascinating detail. I have to assume there is something about being a Scarlet that excites them somehow. You will have to tell me what happens once you get to the Tremaine place. More data would be incredibly helpful. Maybe this one will do nothing. Who is to say? Mr. Gutierrez? I think maybe you forgot, but I asked a little while ago if you could help me with Rosalina's medicine, because I think it's wearing off and she's having a lot of trouble. She's saying some really weird stuff. I mean, she's been saying weird stuff since yesterday, but now it's getting, like, really weird. Like in the movies where people do drugs and see spirals and stuff. And I know there's a lot of rules about the medicine, and I don't remember what they are or which one she's supposed to have every 3 hours or every 12 hours, and I really don't want to mess up. Good instincts, Alexis. Sure, I can walk you through it again. The ones with the yellow sticker are every 3 hours. Can you just come and do it? The last couple times I came up to ask, I forgot everything by the time I was down there, and I think she also really needs some food, but all you have is onions, and I don't know what to do with those. Look, I'll be done in just a minute, I promise. In the meantime, why don't you call the doctor and see if she can walk you through it? It's not like I'm the expert anyway, it's probably good to double check. And after we get Rosa sorted, I'll leave you some cash so you can run to the gas station for some snacks for you both. We can order pizza for dinner if your parents haven't come to pick you up by then. How does that sound? Okay. Alexis wanders back downstairs. Jesus, I keep losing track of time. Clearly I needed to get my head out of the clouds, at least long enough to get some parent time in. Now, where was that map? He rifles through his papers, searching. He finds what he's looking for and hands it to you. It's a map of Scarlet Hollow. The best route to Julius Tremaine's farm is down Main Street, then turn onto the first dirt road and keep going. But the map should help you keep things straight. Good luck out there, Charlie. I really hope it's not too bad. But we're working towards something new. Towards something now. I know we can solve this if we just collect as much data as we can. Oscar, you're ignoring your kid and you're pushing me away. Do you really think there's something here or anything here that's worth that cost? I'm not ignoring her. The most important thing for her right now is rest. She was sleeping all morning. I wasn't going to interrupt that. Though I suppose I must be more scattered than I thought if that was the second time Alexis had to come and ask me about it. But the work here is important too. I know it is. And I'm doing all of this for you. I'm not pushing you away. I'm supporting you. I'm sorry if that is not how it seems, but there is something to be uncovered here, and once I find it, it will all make sense, I promise. Jeez, what's with all of these? Take care of your daughter, Oscar. I'll handle the farms. Of course I will. God knows I could use a break anyway. Good luck out there, Charlie. It's been a hard week, but I know we'll make it through now that we have a clearer understanding of things. I'll be here when you get back, ideally with a plan to access the church. You take a deep breath, ready but reluctant to leave the library once again. Wait. Oscar reaches for your shoulder before you can leave, his grip firm, his hand sweaty with the nerves of too many hours spent working without rest. Charlie, I am sorry. I really am. I realize now how this must seem. That I am being brusque, maybe even unreliable. Like you aren't important to me, but you are. Of course you are. Even in just the few days I have known you, you've left a permanent mark on my life. The things you have done for me. That is why I'm doing this. I want you to feel that way too. That I have been important. He stares down at you, his words going soft and then silent. He's considering something, breathing quickly, nervously, his brow knitting as his eyes wander down to your lips. Ooh, is it gonna happen? Kiss him first. You make the choice for him. You reach up, taking his bearded face in your hands, and before he can say another word, your lips press against his. Both of you seem to be in shock for a few seconds, standing stock still, lips pressed firmly against each other. Despite being somewhat older, there is a clear inexperience in his movements, a rustiness after years of neglecting this avenue of his humanity. But finally he softens, his tension fades, and he melts against you, enveloping you in his broad warmth. His arms wind around your back, clutching you close against his broad chest, letting you sink into him, as if that alone could protect you from everything he wants to save you from. His lips move from yours, dancing across your cheeks as he plants kiss after kiss, blanketing you in desperate affection. Finally, his mouth comes to rest near your ear, his breath tickling the sensitive skin of your neck. He squeezes even harder, his arms stronger than perhaps even he knows. In this moment, you aren't thinking of what might be waiting for you outside this room. You don't feel like you're in Scarlet Hollow anymore. You feel like you're home. Aww. We're going to survive this, I promise. The two of us are going to fix this town. Then he pulls away. The air feels cold in the absence of his all-encompassing warmth. The spell seems to break, the anxiety flooding back in where comfort had tried to blossom. I had better go see to Rosa. Charlie, please be careful. I'll be worried about you until you make it back to me. His hand lingers on your shoulder, reluctant to part with you completely, but finally he lets you go, slipping past you into the library. Nothing left to do now but follow the leads he's offered. The floor plans are all wrong. Speak with Oscar after his research has turned up an important, etc. Got an achievement. But where could you possibly turn to next? No explore options here. I need to make a choice. Do I go to the police? Wayne said I needed to find the witch. I should do that before doing anything else. I need to see Tabitha. Maybe there's an explanation for what I've witnessed. Tabitha needs to know about what's been hidden away in her home. I'm going to someone I can trust. Oscar gave me a means to find the next carving, and I'm following that lead to the farms. Enough hemming and hawing. I'm going to the farms alone. I am getting the hell out of this place even if I need to walk. Alright, A-cab, police are out. I could try to find the witch, but I worry about how that's gonna go. Tabitha's busy. Oh, the witch is definitely Sybil, like 100%. But it's also Kanika. But right now, my character doesn't know Kanika exists. I'm thinking someone I can trust, and I'm hoping that that's Stella. But hang on, I'm going to save. Let's see who someone I can trust is, and then I'll decide whether I want to go back and talk to, search for the witch. That's right. If you just manage to throw yourself into the arms of someone you can actually trust, maybe they can help you. Maybe you don't have to deal with this alone. Can you trust anyone? Fascinating. Can I choose Kanika? There's a strange fragment of a memory dancing at the back of your mind, like someone or something that's played a part in all of this, someone or something that you shouldn't forget. But then it's gone, and you're left with only the awareness that there's something you should have remembered. It must not be that important. I tried to get Kanika. You can trust Stella. We've been in this together since day one. The two of you have been in this mess together since the very first day you arrived in town. There's no one else you can trust more than her. Run to Stella? Go to her house. You make your way over to Stella's house, desperately praying that she'll be home. She's been in this with you practically since the moment you arrived in town. She'll know what to do. She has to know what to do. You knock on her door. You wait and eventually hear the quiet shuffling of feet approaching the door. It creaks open, an exhausted Stella regarding you with sunken eyes. Oh, hey, Charlie. What happened? You look shaken up. There's a dungeon in the Scarlet estate. A dungeon? Whoa, you were in the Forbidden Wing, weren't you? I always wanted to know what was in there. She reaches forward and grabs your hand, ushering you into her home. So, what happened? Tell her everything. Once you start talking, you find it hard to stop. No details remain unshared. You tell Stella about everything that's happened today. Waking up in the Forbidden Wing, the cell, and everything you found leading up to it. And your parley with Wayne at the end of it all. Not to mention your conversation with Oscar in the mayor's office. Huh. Rare achievement unlocked. Back to basics. Turn to a YouTuber in your hour of need. Jesus Christ, that's... Charlie, if I'm being honest, I don't know what to do about any of this. I was gone for a day, and it's like every single part of my life has been turned on its head. Okay. Everything is okay. You still trust Tabby, and I still trust Tabby, which means we need to talk to her. You said you found letters from her dad in there? Thank you for believing me. Easy, I care about you, Charlie. Now we just have to pick a place to have our conversation. I think I'm gonna call her, make her come here. I'm a good host, and if we bring her here, I'm sure I'll be able to wind the clock right back to where we all left things last night. Stella pulls out her phone and dials your cousin. You can tell by the way she bounces her foot that this is a call that circumstances have forced her to commit to, not one that she'd chosen to make. Tabby, hi. Yeah, no, everything's okay. Charlie just stopped in and told me about some things. Actually, maybe everything isn't okay. Wayne dragged them into the Forbidden Wing this morning. What? It was a lot. It's the whole thing with a lot of details. I don't know. That's why I think you should come here to my place. I know you're busy, but I think it's worth it. Charlie seems really shaken up. Yeah, good thing I saved Indeed. We'll see. You know we both care about you, Tabby, so let's talk. Then we can all be on the same page. Tabby, this isn't like a negotiation. You're coming down here and you're doing it right now. Great. See you soon. Stella hangs up the phone. She seems tense. I guess she always does, but she kind of seemed more tense than I expected. So what did she say? She wasn't super happy. She grumbled a bit about the mines, and then as soon as she found out I was calling about the estate, that's when she got all tense. But she is coming down here, so that tension is going to go away any minute now. I'm sure of it. Any minute now. I don't want any of these. Do we just wait, or... Yep, we just wait for her to get here. I'd say we could plan, but I've never really been a planner. No kidding. You know me by now, I'm impulsive. I do what feels right in the moment, like calling Tabby to come here without asking you. No, it was the right thing to do. If we sit around agonizing about what to do, we won't fix anything. Well, I'll just keep feeling bad. Thanks for deciding what to do. I've been freaking out. Yeah, no problem. I love to make a decision. No looking back, just moving forward, right? Like a shark. I can't imagine what you're feeling right now, because I feel sick. You and Stella wait in silence for your cousin to arrive. But eventually, there's the sound of tires on gravel and a car door opens. Footsteps up to Stella's door, and at last, a knock. It's open, Tabby. It swings open, and Tabitha Scarlet steps through the door, followed, surprisingly, by Deputy Franklin, his sunglasses emotionlessly reflecting the light of day. Tabby, you brought the cops? Tabby, you narc! What's going on? Yes, Stella, I brought a cop. That was a very upsetting phone call to receive, you know? I was hoping the three of us could talk. Well, we're here talking. If you have something to say, say it. But I know an ambush when I see one, Stella. With the sort of things you were saying on the phone, I didn't know what to expect. So I brought backup. Can't believe you narked, Tabby. But Charlie, I'll have you in particular remember that Stella... Oh, sorry. Wrong voice. But Charlie, I'll have you in particular remember that Stella practically admitted that you broke into a locked wing of my house. So if you want to walk out of here not in handcuffs, I'd better like what I hear. If you're lucky, maybe I won't press charges. It just seems too early an escalation for this, that's all. I didn't break into the Forbidden Wing. Wayne dragged me there while I was sleeping. Wayne? You don't mean Sam Wayne, do you? The missing person? Oh, sorry. Ahem. Wayne? You don't mean Sam Wayne, do you? The missing person? Well, he's not that missing. He's still walking around town, but there's definitely something wrong with him. Mab, do you have any idea what he was doing up at the estate? Tabitha falls silent. I think my cousin knows about the relationship I used to have with Sam Wayne, and is using that name to hurt me. How are we supposed to have a dialogue about what we found when you've brought a literal goon here? He's not a goon, he's a hard-working public servant. And am I not the public? Tabitha, you are trying my patience. Oh, yeah, the intent absolutely was Patrick Warburton. I mean, look at the guy. He would sound like Patrick Warburton. I'm sad it's only kinda giving that. Oh well. It's alright. I've been called a lot worse than that. You try dating as a cop. Your skin gets thick real fast. And why does this have to be a dialogue? As far as I'm concerned, you violated my boundaries, and now you've got some image of me in your head that you cooked up based on fossilized bits of my grandparents locked away in a drawer, and you're making that my problem. Hey, let's not get angry at each other, okay? That's not going to get us anywhere. We're just here to chat. Stella, we've known each other for our entire lives. We used to be close, and it's felt like we've been getting close again. That's what I've been trying to say. So what do you think? So what do you think? Do you think I'm some sort of monster? Do you think I'm running some, I don't know, shadowy cabal? You don't have to answer that, Stella. It's not fair for me to ask you that sort of thing. But that's what Charlie did. I can't imagine how that made you feel, loading a question like a gun and asking you to turn it on someone you care about. Now who's being overdramatic, Tabitha? I don't think you're a monster, Tabby. I wouldn't have called you here if I thought you were. Yeah, Tabitha, I thought we were getting close. All of us. I wanted to talk this out with you, not attack you. Yeah, I thought we were getting close too. Which is why this feels like such a violation of our relationship. I don't like people nosing around in my things. I don't like people making snap judgments about who I am as a person. And I especially don't like it when it's my own cousin doing it. Tabby, that's not what... My cousin who, against my better judgment and my late mother's warnings, I'd been starting to like. Do you know how much I have to deal with people hating me? Every day. Every day, someone who I'm sacrificing for hates me because they don't understand what I'm trying to do. Are we still talking about me? Or are we talking about the miners? I work so hard for this town, Stella. I don't want to go through these other ones as much. But we'll do this one. The other one I don't want to say in front of the cops. Did you know there were birthday cards from your dad in the Forbidden Wing? Years and years of them. What? Tabitha looks over a handful of cards you found stuffed in Edward Dean's desk. See, Tabby? Whatever Charlie found in there must not have had anything to do with you, because you wouldn't have known about these. So we can all calm down, right? These were stashed somewhere? Charlie said so. In your grandma's room or something. Tabitha stares down at the cards, eyes caught by the handwritten messages written over the course of years. Then she crumples them up and shoves them in her pocket. Her sour expression returns, squinting to hide the tears you couldn't help but notice. Stella's right. That proves it then. I didn't know about these, so why would I know about all the other stuff you're talking about? Are you crying? Tabby, I'm sorry. I know you and your dad had to have a bad relationship. We don't have a relationship to begin with. He decided not to have one. So he sent me cards, so what? Anyone can do that, even a deadbeat like him. He had my address. He could have come to visit. But no, he just sent some stupid cards with some ugly pictures on them and wrote about somebody he never bothered to get to know. Ooh, somebody is deflecting. Anyway. I'm fine. This isn't about that. It's about me and Charlie, yet another family member who seems intent on betraying my trust. Tabby, I had no idea you... The conversation is interrupted by the crackle of Deputy Franklin's radio. Franklin, pick up already. We ain't got all day, boy. Sheriff, sorry, sir. I'm just into a situation with Miss Scarlet. She called me about a possible situation at Stella Richmond's. I don't give a good goddamn about where you are, aside from the fact that it ain't here. We need all hands on deck over at the Calloway place. Got ourselves a possible 187 brewing. So get your ass down here, boy. 10th floor. A 187? The Calloway place? Damn it. This day just keeps getting worse. That's it's a homicide, but yes. Miss Richmond, I'm starting to get sick of telling you to stop listening in on the police radio. It's your radio, jackass! But more importantly, this needs to wrap up now. Deputy Franklin whips out a pair of handcuffs, tightening them quickly around your wrists in his smooth police academy maneuver. Ma'am, if you want to press charges... I don't know what I'm doing yet. Don't force me to make a decision. I'm still processing. Tabby, but Charlie... Alrighty, I'll take your cousin in and you can decide what to do after the situation at the farms has been resolved. Yeah, I was about to say, she can't close her ears, cop. You got it right. Anyway. Tabby, you can't just let this happen. Your cousin hasn't done anything. Damn it. Okay, fine. Stella, stay here. I'll make sure nothing happens to Charlie while in police custody. What would the charge be exactly? Trespassing in a place I had already been and was sleeping regularly? Unlawful entry in a place that I was already in and sleeping regularly? I don't think you can get busted for trespassing within a section of a house. I don't think that's how that works. That's not advisable, Miss Scarlet. We're talking about an active crime scene. I don't give a shit. And Stella, if you don't hear from us by the end of the day, you bring people and you come looking, okay? Okay. You're escorted out of Stella's house and thrown into the back of Deputy Franklin's police cruiser. You waste no time in turning on the sirens, blasting down the road toward whatever emergency is underway. This is possibly one of the few times he's ever been able to do this, and despite his sunglasses and stiff demeanor, there is definitely an excitement in the way he cruises around the treacherous mountain turns. As the car pulls up to the farms, you feel it again, a tingling at the back of your skull, an urgency, almost like a hand pressing you gently forward, with the threat that it might become more forceful if you don't comply. No, like, yes, loser, but at the same time, this is the reason people become cops, right? Is to do this nonsense. Like so much crying that can only stop if you tend to it. There is definitely another stone here. It's getting harder to ignore them. Deputy Franklin gets out of the car, leaving you in the back as he joins the assembled crowd. All right, Sheriff, what's the situation? I'll tell you what the damn situation is. That bastard Julius got hold of my boy and he won't let him go. This is a kidnapping and you fellas better get in there and shoot that rat bastard chest thing before I do it myself. And that's the bottom line. Anyway. There, now you're up to speed. Franklin, you're with me. Let's head on in and get a handle on things. I better go in first. That son of a bitch has the place all strung up with traps, but I know how to spot them. Mr. Calloway, it might be best you stay out here with your wife and me. This is police business now. As far as I see it, it's family business and it always has been. Whether or not you finally decided to get your sorry asses out here to finally do something about it. It's your fault he ever decided to take it on himself to go investigate what happened to Big Betty. All because you didn't listen. That's right, now you owe me. I'm bringing up the rear if it makes you feel like a big tough guys, but you can't stop me. Not while my boy is in trouble. All right, I hear you. Your boy's in there. If you want some peace of mind, I understand that. But don't go making more problems than we already got. You hear me, Duke? Leave that gun with Irma. Fine, here. If something happens to me in there, you know how to use it. And you best use it. Please try to refrain from making threats of violence in front of officers of the law. Then you fellas better go and get our boy back. Without another word, the officers split up. Derrickson heads for the squad car, while the three men start up the hill to Julius's shack. Irma stands on her porch, clutching the shotgun and watching the other house intently. Hey there, Charlie. Sorry you had to come along for the ride. We'll have you back at the station soon enough. Sounds like this won't take long to settle. Are you kidding? In the meantime, I'll keep you company. The thing calling out to you is starting to lose its patience. You need to find a way out of here before it gets angry. If you guys are arresting me, could you also arrest the guy who's been stalking me since he's doing a real crime? Right, that alleged stalker of yours. As far as I remember, he hasn't done all that much besides show up once or twice, is that right? Doesn't sound that criminal to me, especially not in a town this small. But hey, see this as a bright side to us taking you in. No boogeyman can get you at the station. Can you let me go, please? I haven't done anything wrong. Oh, I'm sure you haven't, but that's why we're going to bring you to answer a few questions, so we can prove as much. And if we see that you really aren't a threat to the town, then we'll let you go, and that'll be that. Could you at least let me out of the handcuffs? I would, but you're all the way back there, and I'm all the way up here, and I just got comfortable. Plus, I got no backup. Can't do anything without backup. Have some patience. This will all be over soon, just like I said. You don't really think Bo is dead in there, do you? I'd love to be wrong about this. I really would. But Bo's a big man. Hard to keep a big man like that from moving around and making a fuss. We've seen a whole lot of nothing going on in there. Still as the grave, if you'll pardon the expression. Don't you think Duke might escalate things? Oh, I'd bet on it. But it's not me who makes the big decisions. Sheriff Hugby always has the final say. And I suppose Duke made a good point about those traps. He does know them better than any of us. Maybe he winds up being more useful than not. At the very least, he won't be pissed at us when things don't go the way he wants. Let me out, let me out, let me out! I will give you $100 if you let me go right now. Is that a bribe? Not exactly behavior typical of the innocent, wouldn't you say? 100 isn't even that much nowadays. I won't throw away my good standing as an officer of the law for less than a week of groceries. Oh, so we've already established you're a whore, now we're just arguing over price. Got it, okay. There is a sound coming from the house on the hill, shouting, angry, and panicked. A frantic voice crackles over the radio. Derrickson, man down. The sheriff's down. What'd I tell him? I told him to be careful and follow my lead, and now look at him. Mr. Calloway, if you could please clear the line and let Deputy Franklin give me a proper status report. Deputy, is he breathing? And do you have eyes on Mr. Tremaine and the hostage? We're on our way to the basement now, sir. You better be careful, meathead, if you don't want to end up like your... You hear an ungodly noise over the radio, a gunshot, and then static. Franklin, report! But there's only silence. Damn it, Franklin. Deputy Derrickson hesitates briefly outside your door as if hoping someone might leave the farmhouse without his getting involved. But after a few seconds, he's heading up the hill, yelling something to Irma. And then a figure appears outside of the car door. Thank you, Wayne. A moment later, you hear the click of a lock. Time to go. You get out of the car, your body moving on instinct. The stone is louder outside. Its song is buzzing in your ears, drowning out the world, calling you up the hill toward the old farmhouse. I don't think I should go in there, but I don't think I can stop myself. Don't think I should go in. That's all you're able to sputter out. The buzzing drowns out your words. You can almost feel it pulling, your feet aching to move. But you have to. I'm sorry. I really would have preferred it if we could all do this together, but the witch started it early. I should have known she would. The handcuffs fall away from your wrists. You weren't paying attention to what he did to make that happen because it doesn't matter. You have somewhere to be. But she's at her most vulnerable now, and she won't be expecting you. So go on. I'll be watching. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. He gives you a hard shove forward, and then he's gone. Hey, what the hell just happened? Was that Wayne? But you don't have time to respond to your cousin. Today's event has already begun. And yet, you're interrupted by yet another car pulling up to the scene. Tabitha, Irma, Charlie, I got paged by the sheriff. What the hell is going on here? Where are all of the cops? The talking is just noise. Their words don't matter. There is a humming in your head, almost like a voice, one that you can just barely make out, but you know it will be clearer the closer you get to the stone. You start wandering up toward the farmhouse at the top of the hill. Okay, we are at just about 7 o'clock, and this seems like a good spot to break. So I'm going to call it here, and we're going to pick up next time and find out what's going on in that house at the top of the hill. All right. Did that bring me back to title? Oh, I think the other one would. Ah, shoot. Okay, well, I'll load it up again for the title menu music. Hang on. Okay. Now we're back to the beginning. Okay. Sigh. Well, it's been an interesting walk through the first half of Chapter 5. Things are only going to get more dire from here, I think. LB933, thank you very much for tuning in today. And anyone who watches the VOD, I hope you enjoy it. And hopefully next time we will have an additional voice cast member or two, because I think that'd be very fun. All right. So that's it for now, and until next time.
This is a reminder.
Well, hang on. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. And with that, until next time, good night out there, whatever you are.